हो सके तो उनको ले आइए यहाँ पर, they can also listen. When you're ready, let me know. लाडली लाल की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर् गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः, गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। This is the Q&A session. So there are some questions that are in front of me that have been asked. And if you have a question, you kindly do raise your hand. First question here is, how do I maintain balance with tears from sadhana to avoid kapuya charan? Where should I avoid tears and where can I let them come out? So the question really is, when I am crying during satsang, what if there is a desire within me to entertain others and to make it look like I'm a very big devotee? So as long as you are not shedding those tears to show off, and you know yourself, you know your own heart, and more importantly, God and Guru know your heart, that you are shedding those tears with their grace, and your intention is not to show off, but those tears are coming by themselves with the grace of God and Guru, then you don't need to worry about committing any offense, kapuya charan, that you are showing off your devotion. So it all depends on your intent, your feelings, your sentiment, and you know for yourself whether you are showing off or whether you're being genuine. So there should be no such concern with committing an offense when you are shedding tears, because God and Guru are omniscient and they know everything. As long as you are true in your heart, there's no need to be concerned. Another question is it important to do Rup Dhyan and have devotional feelings when doing seva, or is doing seva enough just by itself? It is essential to do Rup Dhyan while we are doing seva. It is essential that we have feelings of devotion as we are engaged in doing seva. It is true that Shri Maharaj Ji has said that sadhana will never be as great as seva. It never was, nor is, nor will ever be. But that is seva that is done with sadhana. Sadhana is going on, you are feeling very devotional on the inside, you are doing Rup Dhyan of God and Gurudev as you are doing seva. If we are not doing that, then worldliness comes into that seva, and then a lot of pride will come in, anger comes in also, envy comes in, frustration comes in. Then other people are doing seva, other devotees are doing seva, and there'll be khatpat, khitpit, tu main, little bickerings take place if we are doing seva without Rup Dhyan. Sri Maharaj Ji went to the extent of telling the the devotees who were cooking for him in the kitchen, Maharaji said, put your masks on. Because as you are doing this seva, now Maharaji did not say this, but the intent was you're doing this seva, and if you're talking to each other, then where is the sadhana? We're cooking for God and Guru, and we are talking, socializing. Then Shri Maharaji said, just put a mask on, because then you will not be talking. So you can then do Rup Dhyan properly. If you're doing Shringar Seva, then Kirtan should be going on, and you are thinking about Hari and Guru, you are addressing Radha and Krishna, and so the whole focus should be Radha and Krishna, not each other. You are doing cleaning seva, and the whole focus should be on God and Guru. I'm doing this for my Guru. I'm doing this to please God. So whatever seva it is, financial seva, there should always be that humility, and there should always be the Rup Dhyan that I am doing this for God and Guru, and this is not something that's mine. I'm giving away what they have given me. It is therefore, in answer to this question, it is essential to do Rup Dhyan and to have devotional feelings within as we are doing seva. If we don't do that, then the seva is just external, and inwardly we are just having worldly thoughts. And externally also we will be saying, why do you do this? I remember once in a retreat right here in Toronto, when we didn't have Yugal Kunj. So there were devotees who were cooking. It was their turn to cook. And only those people should have been there. But for some reason, the kitchen is very attractive to a lot of people. People do want to go there. And what happened was, many ladies went in, and the ones who were cooking, they came to me crying. And I said, what happened? They said, we can't even cook because this one comes and said, namak thoda jada dalo, put a little bit more salt. Another one says, you didn't put jeera in. That's not how you make it. Because the ones who are coming in, they're more accomplished, I guess. They were older. And everybody has a different way of cooking. So now the ones who are doing the seva of cooking, they cannot do their seva because somebody has come in and they're telling them how to do it better. So seva is very important. Seva is our savior, but at the same time we must keep our humility, and we must be able to do this in peace, and we should do it alongside with Rup Dhyan. The focus should never be lost. Why am I doing this? I'm not cooking in a restaurant. I'm not cooking at home. I'm cooking for God and Guru. I am doing this for God and Guru, not just like that. So I need to be thinking about the ones I am doing this for. So then that seva brings about wonderful results. It helps us to become more devoted rather than helping us to become more frustrated, more angry, and just saying, I don't want to do this. So yes, in answer to the question, it is essential to have devotion within and to do Rup Dhyan as we do seva. And if there's anything that you want me to clarify, you can just raise your hand. How do I know that I have found a true Guru? When the lectures that you hear are making sense to you, and your questions are being answered, and you feel by following the teachings, you are feeling that you're feeling more love for God in your heart, and you're feeling that this is what you were looking for. Your questions are being answered, the doubts are no more. Then accept that Guru. Accept that Guru from your heart. And a true Guru will never say to you, you must go through some ceremony. I will give you a mantra, and you have this, we will do the ceremony. There's never a ceremony. You just accept the Guru from within, and you start following the teachings of the Guru. Find out what the teachings are, and it is your responsibility then to find out, listen, ask questions. And if the Guru is not there, ask a representative of the Guru. For instance, I just like to make it very clear, I'm a representative of Sri Maharaj Ji. Maharaj Ji has given me the task of preaching. So Maharaj Ji is no longer physically on this planet Earth, but so you ask one of Maharaj Ji's representatives what it is, what the clarification. Another thing is that for clarification, then you cannot be asking fellow devotees because they have their own ideas. Everybody has their own idea of what Maharajji's philosophy is. But someone who has been given the task of preaching, you need to ask them. They will give you the answers. They will clarify your doubts. Because many times it happens that, I asked this devotee, then I asked that devotee. I asked so many of them. I got 3-4 different answers. So the ones who are qualified to give you answers, to understand your Guru's philosophy, ask them, and then follow the Guru's teachings, and then you'll find that you're getting more and more, you're getting closer and closer to God, and your worldly tendencies are decreasing, then you know that you have found a Guru. And God will let you know also. But you have to be doing your work. You have to be listening. And listening just once, I went to listen to that lecture. No, listen again and again. And dig in one place. That's another thing. Some people go to different lectures and they listen to so many different people. And they say, I am very open-minded. I'm very open-minded. I go to listen to different people. But the fact is that they're not serious because they're listening here, listening there. All right, that means they have not found a Guru yet. But when you come down to it and you say, no, this is my Guru, then you listen to your Guru. And if you find something is lacking, then find another Guru. Find someone else because you're not satisfied. It is my experience, what I have seen over the years, my personal experience, and I have seen other people's experiences, that once you hear Sri Maharajji's philosophy and you accept it, you don't feel like going anywhere else because you feel completely satisfied. When you feel this complete satisfaction that this is what I'm looking for, then don't go here and there. Dig in one place, because if you're looking for water, you dig in one place a few feet, then you let go and you dig another place, you go 10 feet here, 15 feet there, 20 feet there. A whole life is spent digging here and there. You're not found. You haven't selected a Guru. You have not found water. So dig in one place and invest your time. Those of you, obviously, the ones who are asking questions are in the locality. They're able to come to Yugal Kunj. So then I would say, then come every week to the satsang and do sadhana at home. If you don't know what that means, you ask me. Ask me. You have to go to the trouble of contacting me and asking me that how is it done? And I will tell you that this is what Sri Maharajji has said. So coming once in a while is not going to do it. It will not convince you that this is a Guru. And if you say, no, I'm convinced that this is my Guru, then why would you not come every single time there is satsang here, right? So how do I know it's a Guru? I have found my Guru. The philosophy, the teachings will completely satisfy you. And you will feel that the questions you've had for ages are being answered. The doubts are no longer there, and a clear path has been shown to you. And when you follow that path, when you do sadhana, as per the instructions of the Guru, then you are finding a lot of benefit. You are receiving a lot of benefit, spiritual benefit. Then that's all you're looking for. Then you know. You can't be asking people, do you think this is a real Guru? Do you think, who's your Guru? Do you think I can accept? No. A Guru, it's not like a dentist or a doctor or a plumber that you can ask others. Everybody has such different sanskars. And the same Guru is not going to appeal to everyone. Even Jagat Gurus have not appealed to everybody. Pancham Mool Jagat Guru, Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, he did not manage to attract everybody. So you don't ask each other. You just, it's your own personal experience. And this journey is our own individual journey, so we need to make the effort individually. How do I know how far I have progressed in my journey? So to gauge our level of our progress or lack thereof, we need to really become very, very neutral, and we need to give very crucial answers to very crucial questions, such as how much do I love God? How much time do I spend thinking about God and my Guru? Has my anger subsided? Is there a reduction in my feelings of anger and greed and hatred and envy? Am I much less envious of people than I used to be? Am I more devotional than I used to be? Do I shed tears for God? Do I still do a lot of backbiting and gossiping? If so, yes, then I have not made progress. If there is a marked difference, then yes, there is success that you have come. And Sri Maharaji was asked this question, कि हम कैसे जाने हम कहाँ हैं? How do I know where I am on the spiritual path? And Sri Maharaji first said, well, you have to know, you know. But there are some indications, and these are the indications. That you don't judge people, you don't, you think good of others. That's something you did not do so much earlier, but now you have learned, so you think good of others. You don't make up we don't have these concoctions, these stories concocted about others, baseless stories. You don't do that anymore. You don't find so much pleasure in going shopping for these new clothes and new jewelry, new this, new that. You find that your money could be better spent somewhere else. You're simpler. You're living a simpler life. So these are all indications that you are progressing on the path of spirituality. We know that Sri Ram and Sri Krishna they're non-different from one another. Why is it that we mostly pray to Sri Krishna and not as much to Sri Ram? It is absolutely true that Ram and Krishna are one because there is only one God. So Sri Ramchandraji, who descends to earth in the age of Treta, returns as Sri Krishna towards the end of Dwapar Yuga. They are both same, but there is a big difference between them. And that big difference is that Bhagwan Sri Ram allows everyone to think of him and to love him as Lord and Master and Mother and Father and best friend and child, but never as the beloved. But Sri Krishna, when he returns in Dwapar as Krishna, he allows everyone to accept him as everything. He becomes our one and only, so we can accept him as a beloved also. Otherwise, of course, there's no difference between them. But Sri Ramchandraji is Maryada Purushottam. He did everything by the book. When Shrupnaka said to him, Tum sama purusha namo sama nari, when she made advances towards him, being besotted with him, as soon as she saw him, she was so pure-hearted, she started loving him as a beloved, and she made advances towards him. And Bhagwan Ram said, Devi, I have one wife and I will not take another. He does everything by the book. Maryada Purushottam. But the same Shurpnakha returned at the end of the Dwapar Yuga, and her wish was granted because Sri Krishna allows everyone to love him in every possible way. So he is Leela Purushottam, and whereas Bhagwan Ram is Maryada Purushottam. So now Sri Krishna, he has 16,108 wives, and they're all the gopis who are great souls who have come in the female form. They all accept him, love him as a beloved, and he accepts everyone. Sri Krishna, we can say, as Sri Krishna, Sri Ram says, come one, come all, and you can form every possible relationship with me, and I will accept that. Other than that, there is no difference. It's only one God, whether you call him Ram or Krishna. Could you please talk about the type of tilak we apply? I'd be happy to. So the tilak is very simple explanation. There's a vertical line, then there's a dot. So the dot represents Radharani, the vertical line represents Sri Krishna. So this is Krishna and this is Radha. Isn't that beautiful? Can a soul progress from Sadharani Rati to higher and from Shant Bhav to Madhurya Bhav, or they have to stay at the same stage for eternity? Yes, if you are in Sadharani Rati of Madhurya Bhav, you cannot go higher. You can change as long as you're a sadhak. Let's say that you were worshipping Shri Krishna, you were loving him as beloved, you're in Madhurya Bhav, but you had, it was selfishness in your love. But then you found, then a Rasik Mahasant came into your life, and then you were told that you should be selfless in your love, and then you should go to Samartha Rati. So now you're a sadhak, you can learn, you can change your sentiment now. But after you have attained God realization and you're at that level, you're there forever. This is why Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj used to say, Shri Maharaj used to say, that aspire for the topmost. Right now in the sadhana avastha, as long as you're a sadhak, strive for the top. Strive to become a Samartha Rati Gopi, because after that, you will not be able to change. After that, and then someone may ask, well, why would anyone want to be at this level when they could be at that level? And the answer to that is previous sanskars. Why is it that somebody wants to only to be in Dasya Bhav and not go higher to Sakhya, Vatsalya and Madhurya? Because of previous sanskars, that's all. And also because they did not find a guru who could tell them to go any higher than that. But Shri Maharaji has recommended that we go to the topmost level and become Samartha Rati gopis. Aspire to become Samartha Rati devotees. Were there two Krishnas that appeared 5200 years ago? One Narayan avatar to Mata Devaki and Swayam Bhagwan to Mata Yashoda? No, because he is Mahavishnu. So when we say he was born to Devaki and Vasudev in the prison cell, he appeared as Mahavishnu, four-armed Mahavishnu, holding the Shankha, Gada, Padma and Chakra, the conch, the mace, the lotus flower, and the divine discus, Sudarshan Chakra. And then Devaki prayed to him and she said, now I know that you're God. She had wanted to know that God will be coming as her child, so he revealed his godly form to her. Then when she prayed to him, please become a small child, a newborn child, then he became a newborn child. So it was not that there were two who had come, one to Devaki, one to Yashoda. It was one and the same, who was showing his Narayan aspect, his Paramatma aspect, and also his Bhagwan aspect. Because as you know, God has three aspects, Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagwan. So the question that's being asked is, did Paramatma come, in his Paramatma aspect he came to Devaki, and in his Bhagwan aspect he went to Yashoda? So the answer is no. He appeared in his Paramatma aspect as Narayan, but then he assumed his Bhagwan aspect. We can make God a child and serve him accordingly, but what about Guru? When we're doing seva, we are mindful of the Guru's needs, but how to serve the Guru with the mind? When you are trying to serve your Guru, then it may be difficult to think of your Guru as a child and that you're serving him, and if you can do that, that's fine. But more likely, you will think of your Guru as you have seen him or as you have had his darshan in the videos. So even then you can serve him, not necessarily serving him as a child, but you can serve him at the age that he is at or he was at. Excuse me. And you can cook a meal, you can clean his room, you can wash the clothes. In your mind you can do all the sevas. There's no lack of seva. So you don't have to serve Sri Krishna or Guru in the child form, you can serve Sri Krishna and your Gurudev at any age, when you think of him to be of any age. Because we don't serve only small children, do we? A wife serves her husband, the husband serves the wife. In other words, they both do things for one another. They're not thinking of their forms as children. We serve people of all ages. We do seva of people, of family members who are all different ages. So you can think about your guru. You are massaging his lotus feet. You are washing his clothes. You are preparing his meals. You're giving him water to drink. When you think about it, there are countless sevas to be done. So it doesn't have to be that you are thinking him to be a child in order to do seva. As human life is important to get Bhagavad Prapti, then how is it that Kaliya, Garud, Putna, Vakasur got salvation in the animal and Rakshas Yoni respectively? Yes, in order to attain God, you have to be in the human form. But then you see this Putana was in the form of a demoness, and Bakasur was a demon, Garud in the form of a bird, and Kaliya in the form of a serpent, a snake. That's not an ordinary snake. Kaliya is not an ordinary snake. That's a God-realized being in the form of a snake, in the form of a serpent. And Garud is not just an ordinary bird. That's the eternal vehicle of Bhagavan Vishnu. So these are God-realized souls who have come in different forms. One is in the form of a monkey, another in the form of a bear, another vulture, another eagle, and so on and so forth. But so these are not ordinary animals or birds. And these asurs, Putana, God realized, and yet she is playing the part of God's enemy. So she is a Rakshasi. But so we have to understand, if it's an ordinary bird or an ordinary animal, they cannot attain God realization. If an animal were to come here and listen to a lecture or listen to the chanting, what would that animal understand? Nothing. That animal would just kind of smell things and say, "Is there any food over here?" And as soon as an animal comes, somebody or the other will shoo it away. But even if an animal were allowed over here, what would that animal understand? What would that bird understand? Nothing. Some people, out of affection for their pets, they say, "My dog is very devotional." Dogs cannot be devotional. They don't know how to practice devotion. They don't know the concept of God. It is not to say that dogs and other such creatures don't have any intelligence, because they do. But they only know about eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. That's all they know. They don't know anything more than that. But when it is a perfect being, a God-realized soul, in the form of a creature, any form, as I said, a serpent, a bear, a monkey, a bird, then that's a different matter altogether. That does not change the philosophy that only humans can attain God realization. Only humans. What is the difference between cold and warm tears during sadhana? So as you are practicing devotion, tears come into your eyes. Now there are two types of Rup Dhyan you're doing, hopefully. One is the Rup Dhyan of Milan, the other is that of Virah. So you are thinking sometimes that Sri Krishna is with you, God and Guru, Radharani, Sri Krishna, your Guru, they are with you, and you can see them, and you can watch their divine pastimes. And sometimes you're going to think that you are not eligible to witness those divine pastimes, and then you'll feel that you cannot see them, you can't hear them. So one is the Milan Rup Dhyan, where you are with them. The other is Virah, separation from them. When you shed tears of joy upon when you are doing Roop Dhyan, that you are with Radha and Krishna, then those tears will be cold in temperature. And the tears that come when you are feeling the pain of separation from Sri Radha and Krishna and your Gurudev, then those tears will be hot. It happens to all of us. In a worldly situation, there are happy tears and there are sad tears. And you can conduct an experiment. When you're happy and tears come into your eyes, feel the temperature. They'll be cold. But if you're sad and you're grieving, feel those tears. The temperature will be hot. Those are hot tears. And out of these, hot tears are more beneficial for us. That is why Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Sri Maharaj Ji, they have said that Viraha, the Roop Dhyan that you do of separation from Radha and Krishna, that Roop Dhyan is much more beneficial. Because then you get hot tears. And those hot tears will cleanse the heart faster. So, cold tears are tears of union. Hot tears, tears of separation. One is Milan, the other is Viraha. That's all the questions that I have. Some of them were repeated. So now I want to know if you have any more questions, or have there been more questions posted online? Please let me know. Yes.
राधे राधे।
राधे राधे।
भगवान ने गीता में कहा है, योगस्थ कुरु कर्माणि संगम त्यक्त्वा धनंजय। हे धनंजय, कर्म करो बट अटैच मत रहो उसके साथ। तो हाउ टू अनअटैच्ड?
How to detach, keep the mind detached from the actions. Because Shri Krishna says in the Gita, do your duty, but keep your mind attached to me. So our question is, your question is, how do we do that? How do we keep our mind detached from our duties? Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, Sri Maharaj has explained that when you are doing some work, you need the involvement of your mind. And without the involvement of the mind, even the smallest task cannot be done. For instance, we close our eyes. We need the involvement of the mind to do that. I'm going to open my eyes. The mind has to be involved in even this very small task. So we need the involvement of the mind to perform all our works. However, we do not need the attachment of our mind to do the work that we are doing. We can do our work in two different ways. One is with the mind attached to that work. The other is with the mind detached from that work. And we are actually already in the habit, we are already used to working like that. For instance, someone who's working in a bank, let's say as a bank teller. Now, today, at the end of the day, there is a deficit in the money. It's not adding up. The bank has lost money, let's say. She's doing her job, she's not affected by it. Her attachment is not in that work. She is doing the work, the mind is involved with the work, but the mind is attached elsewhere. It's not attached to that work. So Shri Krishna says, if you attach your mind to me, then you do your work, then what that means is that as you are doing that work, you think to yourself, you visualize Shri Krishna, he is watching me do this. He's watching me as I do my work on the laptop. He's watching me as I do my tasks around the house. So my attachment will be to him, to God, as I do my duty physically. So how do we remain detached from what we are doing? It is by attaching our mind to God and Guru on a daily basis, to get our mind accustomed to doing this, we need to practice a lot. And eventually what will happen is that the mind will be involved, but it will be detached. It will not be attached to that task, because it can only be attached to one place, one person at one time, and that it will be attached to God and Guru while the work is being done with a detached mind. Yes, question over here. Can you raise your hand higher so that keep your hand raised until you get the mic. Thank you.
Continuing the two previous question, if we are keeping our mind into Krishna, then how do we focus on our work?
Right. So it's just like, it just seems impossible that if I keep my mind on Shri Krishna, then I cannot focus on my work. But I'm sure if you, those of you who do ride a bicycle, when you started riding a bike, you started learning, you didn't think that you could have done it, that, how do I pedal? How do I hold on to the handlebar and I pedal at the same time? And then I have to look ahead and I have to do this, I have to do that. So it was very difficult. But as you got used to it, then you are riding a bike and at the same time you are talking to someone who's riding beside you. And you have even your hands, look at the child says, look ma, no hands. So your hands are not on the handlebar. You're doing it so easily. But that was not always the case, was it? You thought, how in the world will I do this? But you are doing that. What you thought was impossible has become very easy now. In the same way, driving a car or any task in the world, how can I do this? And yet it became easy. So how do I keep my mind on God and yet do my duty? It comes with practice. And then God and Guru take over as well. Because we are making the effort. When you make the effort, God and Guru become very happy. They're always pleased with our effort, genuine effort. So you're making the effort and they're helping you out, and you are able to then, by slowly, gradually, you are working every day on attaching your mind to God. Then eventually you'll be able to do your work and at the same time remain attached to Bhagwan. And a very beautiful process of doing that, Sri Maharaji has disclosed, is that you start by thinking about Sri Krishna just every hour, for just a moment or two. That you are at home or you're in your office, wherever you are, you just think, okay, now it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and he is here sitting in front of me on a chair or on that table or on the ceiling, he's somewhere. And then you do your work, and then at 10 o'clock, and you look up at him, you look over there, he's still there. And in this way, you are practicing, you are getting the mind accustomed to thinking about Shri Krishna throughout the day. It comes with practice. And then you do better next day, consistent practice. And eventually, you'll be able to think about God and do your worldly work at the same time. The work doesn't get disturbed. Welcome. Anya?
भगवत विषय में मांगना अलाउड है क्या?
किसमें?
भगवत विषय में
मांगना, क्या मांगना चाह रहे हो?
कुछ भक्ति की थिंग्स.
हाँ, वो तो ठीक ही है. भगवत विषय में मांगना, मुझे भक्ति मिले, मुझे सेवा मिले, ऐसी चीज़ें मांगना तो ठीक है ना? ये तो ठीक है. और मुझे धन दौलत मिले, I want more devotion. So the question is it all right to ask for something in the devotional area? And the answer is yes. If it is seva you want, then yes, I want seva. If it's more bhakti, I want more devotion, it's a wonderful thing to ask for. Does that answer your question? Anyone else? Another question. How to live a life in today's material world जहाँ मेरा हर कर्म, हर सोच भगवान के चरणों के लिए हो और 24 घंटे नाम जाप चलता रहे. I think I just answered that question. Living in the world where you are working and every moment I'm thinking of God, it comes with practice. So nothing in the world comes overnight. No success comes overnight in the world. And in the same way, success does not come overnight in the godly field either. So it comes with a lot of practice. Again, the guru must be genuine, and the guru has to be telling you, the genuine guru will tell you a very doable process. And when you follow the process, it's so easy, then you get to see the results. Another one, can you please shed light on the term Kriyaman Karma? Yes, Kriyaman Karma. Kriyaman Karma are the actions we are performing in this life now. So these are Kriyaman Karma. As to Sanchit Karma, those are actions we have already performed. Every time we are born human, our actions are kept in a storehouse in our mind. And so those are Sanchit Karma, those are actions we have already performed. Good, bad, devotional, it's a mixed bag. And then there are other, second one is Prarabdha Karma. That's what we call our destiny. Some of those Sanchit Karma are given to us as fruits of those actions. And so Punyena Punyalokam Nayati, Papena Papam, Ubhabhyameva Manushyalokam, as Prashnopanishad says. So if you have performed, for the good actions we have performed, we get good results. For the bad ones, sinful deeds, we get bad results. And a mixture of those, we have performed every kind of action. So first there is Sanchit Karma, the accumulated actions of the past that have yet to bear fruit. अभी उन संचित कर्म का हमें फल नहीं मिला है अभी, और कुछ एक संचित कर्मों का फल इस जन्म में मिल रहा है, वो है प्रारब्ध, जिसको हम किस्मत कहते हैं. और तीसरा है क्रियमान, जो हम अभी कर रहे हैं. So क्रियमान actions are the ones we are performing now in this life, which are very different from sanchit karma, which have already been done, for which they have not turned into consequences yet. And then there's some sanchit karma, accumulated actions, and we are receiving the fruits of those actions in this life, and that's what we call prarabdha. That's what it's called, prarabdha karma, and what is called our destiny, our prarabdha. We have no control over what we have done already, so there's no use of crying over spilt milk, but we have full control over kriyaman karma, and this is why we humans are told to be extremely cautious in performing the kinds of actions we are performing. Yes. Take a mic, please.
So, अभी जो मैं क्रियामान कर्म हमारी लाइफ में चल रहा है, सो ये नेक्स्ट लाइफ टाइम में संचित कर्म और प्रारब्ध में को अफेक्ट करते हैं. सो यही संचित मिलेंगे मुझे जो आप अभी
वो संचित में ऐड हो जाएगा.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. No, and also when you're doing the actions you're performing now, kriyaman karma, some of those will be given. You'll bear the fruits of them in this life as well. Some of them will become sanchit karma. Yes. But every action will bear fruit. Yes.
Radhe Radhe Didi ji.
Radhe.
Is there a meditation guidebook or something where the different types of practices of meditation with regards to union as well as separation can be done, like in terms of practices, methods?
One of Maharaji's books is Roop Dhyan. It's a very small book and it's wonderful. But there's not much more to Vira and Milan more than that. It's such an easy process that there doesn't need to be a book or a lecture on it. I can tell you more personally, but basically when you are thinking that you are seeing Radha and Krishna, that's Milan. And then the pastimes are unlimited. I'm seeing in my Roop Dhyan, I'm seeing Radha and Krishna in a park, in a flowery grove in Vrindavan, or in my local park, in my neighborhood park, garden, rose garden. I'm seeing them in wherever, at the beach. And so many pastimes are there for us to think about. We can make up any pastime of our choice because Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. And so that's basically what Milan Roop Dhyan is. And the Virah Roop Dhyan is that, oh, I'm not even deserving of seeing them, and Radha and Krishna are not giving me darshan because I've committed too many sins. And then you shed tears which are hot in temperature, tears of separation. So I would not say that there is a whole book written on it, but Maharaji has mentioned it in different places. And there's not much to understand about that. But that book, Roop Dhyan, is very, very helpful. Hindi and English. So there's another question being asked. What's Maharaji's opinion on dietary restrictions like sattvic or no onion garlic? So Maharaji has recommended, of course, a sattvic diet. Food that is fresh, food that's vegetarian, of course. Food that's not overcooked. Sri Maharaji had given repeated instructions about not eating spicy food. And when Maharaji came up, when he told us the code words for different foods, such as, and I'm happy to share them with you, roti is Radhe Radhe, chawal, rice is Gaur Hari, because rice is white in color, Gaur Hari, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, fair complexioned, kadhi, Pitambar, because it's yellow in color, water is Yamuna, salt is Namak, Nandalal, and the kachori is Rangili Radhe, Puri is Premaspad. So many different names. Chana, that we always used to get chana, black chana, boiled chana for breakfast. That's chakrapani. So many different codes. And yet there was no code for chilies. Maharaji didn't give that because he didn't want us to eat them. So of course devotees, being very creative, they came up with it on by themselves. They called it Lanka. But Maharaji did not give any code for that. He did not want that. So yes, so sattvic food. Onion and garlic, Maharaji did not say anything against them because there are some medicinal benefits. And I know some people are very, very particular about it. Of course, they're not very sattvic, but there is a lot of garlic as a blood purifier. So Maharaji did not say anything against it. There are some organizations that are totally against it. Sri Maharaji, since you're asking me, I have to tell you that Maharaji did not say no onion, no garlic, like that. Sri Maharaji did tell us, the preachers, preaching disciples, people mind it if you eat onion and garlic, so don't eat in front of people. And so it's my experience that when people ask me, can we put onion garlic in your food? And I will say, I'm okay with it, just don't put too much. Just to make it easy for them, because they're making food for their family, and I don't mind it. But then, what they hear is, no, I don't eat onion garlic at all. And I'm always amused. I'm telling them it's okay, but what they want to hear is that I don't eat it, because it's wrong to eat it. So they understand it like that. That's how they process it. Over the years, I have always been marveling at this, that I am saying I'm okay with it, but basically if you put it in there, I don't notice it. If you don't put it in there, I don't notice it. But this is what Maharaji was saying. People will have a big problem with you eating it, so especially those in India. Anyhow, so yes, Maharaji would, if we were eating according to Maharaji's instructions, then we'd be eating very sattvic food and not non-spicy food that hasn't been left in the fridge for a few days, which is, food that's fresh. So Maharaji did talk about that. Because ahar shuddhau sattva shuddhau dhruva smritihi. So our scriptures, the Vedas say that if you eat pure food, sattvic food, then your thoughts are affected, because you are what you eat. So your thoughts are going to be more pure. And when your thoughts are pure, then it's going to be much easier for you to do Roop Dhyan on God. It'll be easier for you to meditate on God. And that was my last question over here. So if you have any more questions, we still have 8 minutes. Right here in the front.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
So what happens is, if we surrender fully to God, and God will forgive all our sins and merits that we have accumulated. But would that not be unfair for the people who got hurt in especially for the Sanchit, for example, that I would have hurt so many people, and if God forgives that sin, then I don't suffer for that, but that person who suffered did not get, he probably would have hoped that God will take care of that person.
That person would think that God would punish us because we'd hurt him. So you're saying that the person who got hurt by us is not fair to that person because that person would want revenge?
Not revenge, but...
Sure, it's revenge. That you hurt me, you should be hurt in the process also. Or maybe I'm not understanding the question.
Justice.
Okay. Maybe better word. Justice. Still revenge. I want you to suffer and first of all, the question is wrong because God is not imperfect. Whatever his decisions are, and we have to get into that mindset that we cannot ask such questions because I know you don't doubt God, but I have to alert everyone that whenever God does something, it's always a perfect thing. And when I have never analyzed this question, never thought about it, but if I think about it, the person that we have hurt, that person, if someone hurts us, it is also in our prarabdha. That's also in our destiny that we're supposed to get hurt because we've hurt that person. So if we go there, then it will be like, yes, I hurt you because it's because of you hurt me in the previous life. So we don't look at any of that. It's just that now there's a clean slate and that's how it is. That's what it is. Because that's God's plan and that is a perfect thing. Anyone else?
Anika.
Yes.
अगर कोई हम रूड है या इग्नोर है तो क्या करना चाहिए?
अगर कोई
रूड है या इग्नोर करता है तो क्या करना चाहिए?
अच्छा. Can I tell you in English so everybody understands?
Yeah.
हिंदी सुन के बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा है. So if someone is rude to us and what's the other word you used? Ignores us. What should you do? Can I see you? I can't see you. So let me see you. So at that time, what you should think is don't think anything against that kid because you have to think that Krishna lives in their heart and Krishna is just testing me. So this kid is being rude to me, but it's Krishna who's testing me. So how will I behave when that other person is behaving badly towards me? So you have to, how do you react? You should react by just being yourself. You're not rude, but if the other person is being rude to you, then you stay the way you are. You stay sweet. And then you also may think that maybe this person, maybe this kid has some problem, and let me be nice to this person. So usually what happens is when somebody's rude to us, are you listening? You have to look at me when I give you the answer. So if somebody's rude to us, then you have to think maybe they're going through some problem in life. Then you say, can I help you with that? Something? Are you going through something? So it's often like that. When somebody's rude to us, they're going through some problem in life. And that's why. If they ignore us, you don't have to ignore them. You can say, oh, Radhe Radhe, or in your classroom or so, you can say, hi. You can be friendly to them. And then sometimes people don't want to be friendly to us. That's okay. Because guess what? You have the best friend possible. Your BFF is who? Krishna?
Krishna.
Okay. Yes. Your best friend forever and ever, who will never ignore you, who will never be rude to you, is Sri Krishna. So, good questions from two little girls. 3 minutes left now.
Final call.
Yes, final question.
Satyendra Bhaiya?
Radhe Radhe Didi.
Radhe.
Didi ji, you gave us a lecture on Daan yesterday. So related to that, I have a question. We have a choice of giving daan while we are living, and then we have a choice of giving daan when we die. What is the difference between those two daans?
It should be given while we are alive. We shouldn't wait. Now, there is some daan that will have to wait until we die because it's in our will. For instance, I have this insurance policy, life insurance policy. It'll go to Yugal Kunj, right? The Yugal Kunj will benefit. You have to die in order to give that daan. But the daan, the charity for which you don't have to die, you have it now, you have to give it right away. And one should not wait for that. So that's the principle in devotion. That's what Sri Maharaji has taught, that you don't wait. Time is of the essence. Do it now, because next moment you may not be alive, and next moment mind may change. Our mind changes very quickly about such things. So for these two reasons, we must give immediately, whatever we can give.
As a follow-up, so for example, how does one decide that what is enough for me and what is beyond my needs? Like, how do we judge?
I believe that for that you'd have to do some calculation, that this is how much I spend in a year. Because a lot of people I've seen that they have an unrealistic view of how much they need to live on. And they'll have a lot, they have so much, and they don't need that much to live on. But there's a fear. What if I don't have any money left? And I think we forget that God and Guru will step in. There will never, ever be a situation in which someone has given, let's say, everything even, and God has not taken care of that person. A devotee had asked Maharaji, should I think I should give my everything away. Should I? Maharaji said, if you need to ask, you should not. There's a fear inside. So, but you're asking how much. So I would say that there should be a calculation. This is, realistically speaking, this is what I need to live on. And then, as Sri Maharaji has taught us, Maharaji used to tell us, you should give more than what you think you can do. Because God and Guru will take over and you will be secure financially. If someone has not even started, they should start with 10%, of course. And then, get more himmat, get more courage, then you start giving more. But at the very least, to stop committing sin of not giving, and it's a huge sin, one should start with 10%. And then the wonderful experiences that come from giving, they inspire a person to give even more. And then that person sees that, oh, I came into this money and I don't know how. What happened? And that's where God and Guru step in and say, you're doing the right thing and you'll never be lacking. And so money comes in. So many times, satsangis have talked to me, I don't know, I got this check in the mail. I don't know where it came from. Or I decided to, I thought I would lose a lot in my business, but my business actually flourished when it shouldn't have been. And I said, it's all because of the seva that you're doing. So God and Guru keep taking note. And Sri Maharaji said that if someone says Maharaji is my Guru, Jagat Guru Tam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj is my Guru, then people ask, what does that mean? And one of those things, you do your sadhana every day and you live by the principles and you give charity. If you don't have the courage to give more, then at least start with 10%. And I will conclude this Q&A session now. Boliye Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki Jai.